And we are live. Welcome back for another stream. How are we all today? Welcome all of you. Feels weird to be back live on a Tuesday. We've got a packed FPL schedule ahead. We've got football on 9 of the next 10 days. There's Premier League football on, so that's exciting. Assuming you guys like it when there's lots of football. I love it. I love it when there's midweek games. So 9 of the next 10 days we've got FPL. Good to have you all here. Well done, by the way, to all the big scores last week. It wasn't a big week for me. I saved the free hit. So last week, without the free hit for me, and I'm going to free hit in Gameweek 34. That's my plan. I've already made a couple of transfers as well. So the team is locked in already. Lots to talk about as always. Welcome to the stream, Jan, Shay, John, Toom, HBVN, BRFC, Adam, Sam, I don't know, Adnan, Burka and everyone else. Get your questions in the chat. Go easy on me today. I'm a bit ropey. I went out the last 2 nights in a row, so yeah, I'm a bit on the ropes. But I've just made a tea before I went live, so here we go. 90 minutes till the deadline. I had an interesting DM just now, by the way, about the Liverpool lineup, which we'll talk about as well. Hopefully, it's a reliable leak based on what they've said in the DM. So yeah, I'm very well though, thank you. Yeah, last night I went out, I don't know if you guys know this, but I sometimes go on David Seaman's podcast to talk about FPL. And as a thank you, they gave me and my family free tickets last night to go and see his first ever live recording of his podcast in London. So I went to that and that was really good night. And true story, so after the show finished, I was waiting for my brother, he'd gone to the toilet, I was standing outside the toilets with my family, and someone came over to me and they said, "Do you make FPL videos?" And I was like, "I do," and I had like a massive grin on my face, because I realised like he'd recognised me, and he said, "I love your videos and all this," so yeah, that was really cool as well. I've just noticed this, the live chat's broken. Are you guys seeing that? Let me see if I can fix that. Hopefully the stream's running alright. My internet literally went down just before I went live, and it came back up like seconds later. Does that fixed it? There we go, perfect. Good. Right, so yeah, welcome to the stream. I've made 2 transfers already. I did them last night because there was some price changes. If anyone looks at my transfer history, I did it when I got in last night at about 12:30, 1 in the morning or something. I've sold Kane for Haaland and Tony for Isak. I had 2 free transfers, so I've locked those moves in. Yeah, I'm doing well, Luke. I'm doing well. How are you? So I've made 2 transfers. It feels a bit wrong to sell Kane and Tony right after they scored last game week. And I wouldn't be surprised if they scored again this week. But it's 2 transfers that made sense. I couldn't go into this one without Haaland. I had considered getting Bruno instead, but obviously he's got this potential injury, which we'll talk about. So I went down the Haaland route, the sensible route, but I am captaining Salah. Anyone else captaining Salah, or are you guys all on Haaland? We'll do a captain poll in a minute. I imagine you're all on Haaland, but I just feel like if you're chasing, there is an opportunity there, right? I looked into it. Over the last 6 game weeks, Salah and Haaland are even for minutes per expected goal involvement. They're even. An FPL review, interestingly, has them about even on the projected points as well. So, based on that, there's not much between the 2. And I just think if you're chasing, why not go for the differential? If you're happy where you are, or you're looking to just chip away and move up the ranks a little bit, then obviously Haaland makes more sense. Tuesday night stream, FPL feels foreign. It does, I was just saying that. It feels strange to be live on a Tuesday. I can't remember when I did the last midweek stream. I guess whenever the last double game week was. But yeah, it's rare we have midweek deadlines. So yeah, here we are. Frank says, do you think I should go for Grealish? I think Grealish is a great pick. Obviously they've got the double in 34 and the double in 37. It just depends who you're selling. Because obviously Arsenal... Hard to call how this one's going to go. What do you guys think? Who wins Arsenal v Man City? Man City playing at home. I imagine City are going to be fairly comfortable favourites for that one, but you never know. It's a massive game. So, yeah, Grealish is a good transfer. It just depends who you're selling for him, basically. What's the leak? Yeah, I received a DM about half an hour ago, just before I went live, and he said that the Liverpool lineup tomorrow is unchanged except Matip comes in for Konate. That's what he said. So we'll have to see. He's been sending me some bits and bobs. I can't vouch for his reliability. I didn't want to tweet it for that reason. Yeah, that's what he said. So interesting news there. Andreas, thanks for the 15 months. He says, does the Brighton news mean March is essential over Mac on a wild card? Yeah, if I was on a wild card, I would have March and Matoma. I wouldn't have Mac. There's a chance that Mac drops deeper for this game, and maybe beyond that. We'll talk about Brighton in a minute, but yeah, we might see Mac playing deeper, deep line playmaker rather than the number 10, which is where his appeal has come from recently. He's been playing the number 10 role, and his underlying numbers have been really good in that role. But based on what De Zerbi said, it sounds like we might see McAllister playing deeper, maybe even bench, but probably deeper. FPL Flames, how are we doing? He says, hi Oscar, bench Maddison, Kane, Saka and Grealish. Out of all of those, I would bench Maddison. I'm trying to remember if I read anything about whether he was back in training or not. I think the latest was they were hoping he would be back in training. I think I would just swerve it and I'd just bench Maddison. Start Kane, Saka, Grealish. Thanks for the 1 month. Kieran said he's on a wild card to make it into the top 100k. He's at 108k. But he needs to bench one of these players. Matoma, March, Grealish, Rashford and Isak. Got 84 last week off the videos. Well played. But between those, I think I'd bench Grealish. I'd start Rashford. I'd start Isak. You have to start the Brighton mids against Forest. So it has to be Grealish. By process of elimination. Obviously he could hurt you, but I think I'd bench Grealish out of those. Yeah, I don't think you did, but anyone who copied the free hit video player for player last week, well played, because the free hit video did really well. It didn't score as much as Kieran's 84, but I think he got about 76, the free hit video, so well done. Sam says, did you ever do that radio show you were talking about months ago? Yeah, I did. BBC 5 Live, I think is the one I was talking about. Yeah, they invited me on on 5 Live to talk about FPL. So that was really good. That was a good experience. It was just a one-off, but yeah, it was a few months ago now, but I did it. Enjoyed it. What are we drinking tonight? Cup of tea for me tonight. I've got my, don't know if you can see it, FPLfocal former #1 in the world mug from FPL merch. Certainly not this season. How are you guys doing for overall rank? Honest ranks in the chat. Where are you guys at the moment? Anyone top 100k? Top 10k? Max Fosh in the chat. How are we doing? I just watched your video earlier. If anyone's not aware of Max's channel, go check him out. He's absolutely brilliant. I don't know how you come up with some of these ideas, but it's honestly some of the most original ideas I've ever seen. His most recent video, he goes to Las Vegas. Yeah, he hires a parrot and lets the parrot pick whether he bets on black or red in roulette. It was a really good video. I literally watched that this afternoon. He asked, who do I start, Dunk or Shaw? I would start Dunk. I think Tottenham score. Especially if Bruno's out. I just think they're going to be missing too many players. I would start Dunk. Come to the clean sheet odds. Brighton are actually top as well, so I would start Dunk. Man United 25% chance. Brighton 43% chance. Williams 29k. Keanu 250k, 400k. 94k, 500k. 77k. A lot of you top 100k here. 12k because of you, thank you. 2 mil, 300. 300 or 300k. On a wild card, Matoma or Grealish? Between those, I'd have Matoma. He's got an extra double game week, so Matoma. Chelsea ranked much higher than Brentford on the clean sheet odds. Yeah, I think a bit generous. Let's do the news roundup actually, because I think we're going to talk about Chelsea among other things. Flandy, thanks for the, what is that? Super thumbs up. Is that a sticker? Never seen that before. Thank you, Flandy, for that as well. Right, news roundup. Lots to talk about here. First of all, the goalkeeper situation at Brighton, and annoyingly, De Zerbi didn't give much away. Sanchez started in the FA Cup, Steele was on the bench, but that doesn't necessarily mean Steele's lost his spot. That could have always been the case, because Steele came in and took the #1 spot in the Premier League, and then he got the minor injury. So it could have always been the case that Sanchez was the cup keeper. So yeah, annoyingly, De Zerbi didn't say much. He just said, I have no doubts about Sanchez. When I decided that Jason played, it was about the style of play. Rob played very well on Sunday. Tomorrow we will see. My guess is that Steele starts, but it's probably like 75-25 in terms of Steele or Sanchez. Interesting one here. De Zerbi also said tomorrow, how do you say this guy's name? Burnett will start from the first minute. I'm trying to understand, blah, blah, blah. So basically, he's a cam, but he can play right wing. He's even played left wing before. So people have been speculating about who misses out here, who gets benched, because we do know for a fact that he'll start tomorrow. So if I was to guess, it'd probably be McAllister that misses out. He could start, but he might drop to a deeper position, defensive mid alongside Caicedo. That would be my guess. There is a chance it's Solly March. We're not really sure. They've got no Ferguson. I think no Welbeck as well. So we could see Nkiso up top. Burnett through behind him, number 10 role. So yeah, changes tomorrow for Brighton. We just don't know 100%. If you have McAllister, I think you have a decision to make there. Do you start him, or do you... If you had other players, you could start like... You know, maybe Bruno, who's flagged, or maybe someone like Botman. I think it's something to really think about if you are a McAllister owner. Quick one on Palace. Hodgson said, in terms of competition between Johnston and Guaita, he says Johnston will start tomorrow. So that's another start for him after a 10-pointer last week. Fabian Schär picked up an injury last match. He's played down the injury, but the defender is an early doubt for Thursday's game. He says he's going to go for an assessment. I don't think it's bad, just a hamstring, I felt, but we'll see. And hopefully it's not a big problem. So Schär is a doubt. If he misses out, it'll probably be Lascelles that comes in alongside Botman in centre-back. So yeah, the big one was Bruno. He came off early in the FA Cup, which very, very rarely happens. He rarely comes off early. But his wife posted a picture on Instagram, which the eagle-eyed or stalkers out there came across, and you can see his legs bandaged up. He's got like some kind of medical equipment here. There's crutches. So yeah, I do wonder whether he's going to start this one or not, Bruno. Those of you that own Bruno, I hope for your sake that he is back in time for the double in 34. But yeah, it seems like he is a doubt for this one based on that. Very rare for him to get injured or miss a game at all, and it must have been a bad one for him to come off early like that and to have his leg wrapped up. Konate is the newest injury concern with an unspecified issue. Again, as I was saying earlier, just before I went live, I got a DM that said Liverpool's lineup's unchanged except Konate misses out and Matip comes in. So we'll have to see if that's reliable or not. I didn't want to tweet it because I don't trust the source enough yet. Hopefully I can build up a reliable Liverpool in the know. That would be handy to have. But yeah, I passed that on Discord and I'll pass it on here, but not one I'll tweet because my reputation is a bit on the line there if I get that wrong. And lastly, Chelsea news. Lampard says that Reece James is unavailable probably for the season. Mason Mount the same, potentially back for the last game of the season. Kai Havertz is struggling a bit with his knee. So a few Chelsea injuries as well. No Reece James for a while. Has Mason Mount played his last ever game in a Chelsea shirt as well? Welcome to the stream, Fran. How you doing? You're not live for the deadline? I thought I saw you... Oh, maybe not. Holly Shand, midweek FPL is always horrible. Heading into it with a couple of injuries. Pray for me. Yeah, I know. There's been a few knock-on effects from cups and so on recently. At the worst possible time, by the way, right before the doubles. Really feel for Bruno owners if he's not back for 34. But yeah, it's worrying to see that photo of him with his legs strapped up. We'll have to see. He wasn't in training today, but most of the players involved in the FA Cup weren't either, so can't read too much into that. Do a wildcard team. I did a wildcard video earlier this week. It did have Bruno, so the only thing I changed in that team is Bruno to Grealish. Or Mahrez. Sean, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships. Those went to Wolves, Callum, Spook, Jan and Depot. Thanks for that, Sean. Unbelievable. Thanks for all the support recently. Last stream as well, it was just crazy, the gifted memberships that stream. I couldn't believe it afterwards. I was telling my girlfriend like how generous everyone was in that stream. Joseph says Evan Ferguson as a differential. I believe he's out for this game. He might be back for 34. I wouldn't go there myself. Not just because of the injury, but he's got Welbeck to compete with. So he's not going to start every game. So no, I wouldn't get Ferguson. Double Arsenal or Brighton getting more points, or a City player. If it's the Brighton mids, I would go double Brighton. Return in March. Depends who the Arsenal is though. Grealish or Saka? I think Saka, but yeah, again that's a close one. I would say Saka. What are the gifted memberships? So you can become a member of the channel. It's just a way to support my channel basically. And it gets you a few perks as well, like early access to my videos. You get a little badge by your name in the live chat, in the comments, and it's a private channel on Discord. So it's the join button below the stream, or there's links in the description to become a member. But yeah, you can gift them, and Sean's been unbelievably generous recently gifting memberships to other people, which is something you can do as well. So thanks for that, Sean. Sabitzer is a differential? Nah. Surely not. I mean, he might do well if Bruno's out long term, but no, I don't think so. I wouldn't get Sabitzer. Equinox, finally could catch a live in a while. Welcome to the stream, Equinox. Good to have you tuning in for a live. Saka or March? March. Sean's the best. He absolutely is. Well, there's quite a few, like last stream, Harry or Malboa, he's called, gifted quite a few as well. So yeah, there's lots of generosity in these streams. Bench Tony or Grealish? Oh, that's a tough one. Tony or Grealish? I think I'd bench Grealish, you know. You know, interestingly, Tony's top in the league for expected goal involvement over the last 6 games. Top in the league. I don't feel great about selling him, I'll be honest, but my plan is to free hit in 34. I've still got my free hit, so I had to use my transfers. I had 2 of them. So I sold Kane and Tony for Haaland and Isak. Bench McAllister or Mings? I think I'd bench McAllister there. That's based on the assumption that he plays deeper, which is what we're expecting based on what De Zerbi said today. How nailed do you think Shaw is? I think Shaw is absolutely nailed, yeah. He can play left back, he can play left centre back. He's definitely nailed. Tube signals, horror stream is popping in and out. Is that for you guys as well? I don't know if that's my internet. Are you guys lagging or is it alright? Seems to be alright for me. Let me know if it's lagging. Kavaz says, bench Iverson or De Gea this round. Kane scares me. I would bench De Gea. I do reckon that Spurs score, and I just hope it's not Kane. Bit laggy. I'm hoping my internet holds out. Literally before I went live, my internet went down and it came back up at like 29 past. So if we're lucky, we'll make it through. But I don't know what's going on there. They must be doing works in the area or something. But I didn't have time to restart my router. No lag at all. Alright. It's you guys. It's your internet. Start Mac 10 or release. Who have Palace got this week? Let me just double check that. Wolves away. I think I'd give Elise the nod. Yeah, Elise. Could we get your opinion on the Jota punt? I don't hate the Jota punt. I just think that he's going to get benched at some point in the next few games. I don't think he starts both in the double. I just think he's a big rotation risk. I realise that Isak is as well, but not as much as Jota. But, yeah, I don't hate the Jota punt. Obviously, he's in great form. I think he's got a brace in his last 2 games. Based on the DM I received, unchanged 11 except for Matip in for Konate. So I don't hate it, but I just think he is a rotation risk. So you're just going to have to go into the next few games expecting a chance that his name isn't in the starting 11 when the lineups drop. Dunk nailed. Dunk is absolutely nailed, yeah. That's another one for wildcarders to think about, those of you on a wildcard. It's Dunk or Estepinian. I wouldn't go for Steele now, based on this uncertainty in the goalkeeper situation. Hopefully it is Steele that carries on playing in the league, but yeah, on a wildcard it would be Dunk or Estepinian, and I just wonder if, again, based on how busy Brighton's schedule is, does he miss out one game at some point over this run? So I think I'd have Dunk if I was on a wildcard. But yeah, he's absolutely nailed. Right, let's have a look at the scout selection for Gameweek 33, which is as follows. They've got Sarr in goal. Back 3 is Alexander-Arnold, Trippier and Moreno. Salah, Rashford, Martinelli and Mitoma. Up top, Haaland captain, Watkins and Tony. What do we think of the team this week? Anyone you wouldn't have here? Martinelli, bit surprising. Love the Moreno pick. I did look at him this week as a potential transfer route that let me keep Kane instead of selling him for Haaland, but I decided against it. I like the Moreno pick. The scout is tripping. Online Tutorials, thanks for becoming a member as well. Thanks for the support, Online Tutorials, and everyone else who's become a member. And Sean for the 5 gifted earlier again. Thank you for that. Yeah, interesting team this week. I can't really fault most of the picks. Martinelli, maybe I'd swap out. I'd probably chuck March in there instead of Martinelli. Yeah, other than that, it's a good team. The back 3 makes sense. Right, let's do a captain poll, because I'm wondering if there's anyone in the world other than me that's not captain in Haaland. Who's your captain for game week? Haaland, Salah, Watkins and other. Yeah, those have got to be the 3. Get your votes in on the captain poll. Macas is on Watkins captain. Plute says Salah gang. I'll tell you what, if Salah outscores Haaland this week, I don't know what I'll do with myself. Rashford in for Saka. Yeah, I think that's a good move. I think that makes a lot of sense this week. Rashford's got the better fixture and he's got the double in 34 and 37. So, yeah, really our transfers should now be shifting towards these doubles. So we should be looking at the Brighton mids, Liverpool, Rashford. Who else am I forgetting? Man City. Solanke or Saka? I would go Saka. Martinelli captain. I wouldn't captain him, no. I wouldn't captain Martinelli. Isak captain. John's on captain Watkins. Grealish or Mahrez? I would say Grealish between the 2. I mean, he's been more reliable for minutes recently. Yeah, I mean, Foden, I'm not sure what his ETA is, if he's back or not. He can kind of play on both sides. I would go Grealish. I think Foden is back, actually. I'd be very surprised if he starts, but yeah, I would go Grealish between the 2. Is Robbo on a wildcard a good pick? He is, but not instead of Trent. I think it's okay to go Robbo and Trent, but not Robbo instead of Trent. I mean, look at Trent recently. They are conceding goals, but he's getting attacking returns. Just need one of these games where he gets one of these returns and keeps a clean sheet, and it's an absolute haul. An assist against Forest, 2 against Leeds, an assist against Arsenal. He's got this new role, playing as an inverted fullback. He tucks inside like a centre mid at times, and it's having a good effect. It is working. I mean, look at his XGI. These are like elite numbers that you'd expect a midfielder to put up. Like 0.72 XGI. Like last week I think Salah was about the same. 0.74 XGI for Salah. Obviously Salah's got more goal threat, but... No, I haven't been watching the snooker. I don't really watch snooker, to be honest with you. I know that Neil Robertson follows me, and he infamously tweeted about me earlier in the season. But no, I don't really watch snooker, to be honest. Is Martinez available? Do you mean Aston Villa's Martinez, right? Not Man United. Let me check that. The latest is, as of yesterday, hopefully Emmy's ready for tomorrow. We're going to know tomorrow morning when we meet to prepare for the match. 75% chance. That's about all I know, to be honest with you. Don't think anyone knows, unless there's any leaks anywhere. Man slandered you for no reason. I know, I couldn't believe that. So, for those that don't know, it was back in... When was it? It was early double game week. Was it 20? I went for triple captain Haaland, and I think we were just talking about when to triple captain, and I said, you know, Haaland in a double game week, the form he's shown this season. But yeah, you absolutely slated me on Twitter just because Haaland only got one goal in the double game week. I don't make your transfers or use your chips for you. You guys have got to own it when you use a chip. Do you think Cher will be playing? I think Cher won't play this week. I would say. I don't think he does. Just based on it being a hamstring, I don't know if they'll risk him. It might be Lascelles that comes in. Isak and Salah from -4. Yeah, I rate those transfers. Depends who you're selling, of course, but yeah, those two transfers make sense. There aren't really any alternatives to Trent. I mean, Robertson, but his numbers aren't as good as Trent's. Trent's the one. Trent's a season keeper. Yeah, you really need to try and find a way to get him in next week, if not this week. Next week, you know, 2 home games there. I mean, 3 home games in a row, actually. And then Leicester, Aston Villa, Southampton. Good fixtures. Saka or Martinelli benched? God, that's tough. I think I would bench Martinelli, but very reluctantly. Very reluctantly. I'd say Martinelli. Murphy for Harrison. I know Murphy did well last week, but I wouldn't be bringing Murphy in. I wouldn't be transferring Murphy in. I'm not sure if he even starts. He might. I wouldn't be surprised if Almiron gets a start now. Yeah, I don't think I'd go there. Any news on Fernandes? No, not really. Obviously, there's that photo that his wife posted on Instagram where he had his ankle wrapped up. And you can see like crutches in the photo. He wasn't in training today either, but some other players from the FA Cup weren't either. So I reckon he doesn't play. I reckon he's out this week, but who knows with Bruno. He's got an incredible injury record. He almost never misses a game, never gets injured. But I mean, this one looks pretty damning, to be fair. Wrapped up like that. It's obviously precautionary, but I wouldn't be surprised if he misses this one. Jack Milner, thanks for the super chat. He says bench one of Grealish, Matoma, March, Isak, Rashford, and Watkins. Out of those, I would bench Grealish. You know, Brighton against Forest, you can't really bench either of them. Isak after a brace. Against Everton, you have to start, and Rashford, you have to. Watkins, you have to. Just process of elimination has to be Grealish. Sharbel, how we doing? Jota or Isak? I think Isak. It's close, but I would say Isak. What do you guys think? But I'm on a slightly different path, to be fair. I'm going to free hit in 34, so I don't need to get Jota for the double game week, because I'm going to be on a free hit anyway, so I have the option. So I bought Isak because he's got the double in 36 when I'm not going to be using a chip. Jago says, let's get 1k likes on the stream. What are we on, 200? Not even close. Yeah, if you're enjoying the stream so far, hit like on it, guys. I prepare lots of content for these streams, so if you do enjoy it, do hit like on the stream. Right, guesses in the chat. Who's going to be the king of Gameweek 33? Last week it was Murphy, 13 points. When it's a tie, it goes to the cheapest player. So it was Murphy last week. We've had a bit of a weird run recently. Murphy, Eze, and Ayu. It's been the budget mids recently. Guesses in the chat. Who's it going to be Gameweek 33? David in the chat with the 5 gifted as well. Thank you, David. I was just talking about you earlier, David, and the generosity last stream. Thank you for another 5 gifted. Those went to... who did they go to? Daniel, Joe, Leon... Abadi got one. Good to see Abadi got one. He's always active in the streams and video. Leon, Abadi. That's not 5, is it? Who did I miss? I think I might have missed someone. Anyway, thanks so much for that, David. He says, just tuned in, my bad. No worries, all forgiven. Right, so we were guessing who's going to be the king of Gameweek 33. The top scorer. Jota. Colwill. Haaland. Jota. Martinelli. Stones. Salah. Ramsey. Mitoma, March. Haaland. A lot of Haaland guesses. Yeah, fair enough. De Bruyne. Maguire. Trippier. And Kiso. If anyone's playing draft, he's one to consider picking up. I doubt that anyone's got him. Elise. Watkins. Harvey Barnes. Sonaldo. Castagna brace, imagine. Well done, by the way, anyone who had Castagna last week on the free hit. They were always going to concede, but yeah, he scored, so fair play if you had Castagna. I think he got 10 points, didn't he? I think he ended up with 10 points. I think he got all 3 bonus, or 2 bonus. Flandy with the 5 gifted as well. This stream's getting out of hand already. Thank you, Flandy, for the 5 gifted. Thank you as well, Sean, again earlier, and David for the gifted memberships. Those went to Derek, Double H, Brian, Harry Football, and Reedy. If you got a membership from anyone who's gifted one, make sure you thank them. Thanks for that, Flandy. Appreciate that. Where can I find the best wildcard team for this week? I did do a wildcard video earlier in the week. I could try and do it now. See if I can quickly pull up a wildcard draft. I would go... So who would I have in goal? Let me try and find the team actually. Try and remember who I had. In goal, I think it was Edison and Iverson. Defense, I think I would go Robertson and Trent, Zinchenko, Trippier. Let me try and find the video for reference because I don't want to do it on the spot and put out a worse team. Right, here it was, Gameweek 33. Yeah, Edison. Oh, don't even get me started on Edison. He has been an absolute troll this season, but I just feel like it makes sense to get Edison with the fixtures ahead. Best in the league for expected goal involvement. I think I'd have Shaw. Martinelli, yeah. It feels wrong to get rid of Arsenal mids, considering how good they've been this season, but it's just like a fixtures thing. Other players have more fixtures, so I'd get rid of Martinelli, and I would have... It depends if Bruno's available. If he's not, then I think I'd just go Grealish and leave the money in the bank. Watkins, Haaland, Isak. I think I'd go cheap up top. Again, it's like selling Watkins on a wildcard feels wrong, but you've got to kind of play the fixtures, haven't you? How much is that? 9 mil in the bank? Is that right? How have I got so much? Oh, because I got Grealish instead of Bruno. Yeah, I think if I was on a wildcard, it looked like that, and then you got 9 mil to pick a striker. You could get Jota and then not get Robertson, something like that perhaps. You could leave Watkins in. I think if I was on a wildcard, it looked like that. Start Botman or Mings. Let's double check what the clean sheet odds say. With those kind of calls, I just back whatever the clean sheet odds say, which say Newcastle. Not by much. What's that? 4.5% likelier, according to the bookies. I'd start Botman. It will be a miss if Share's out. Lascelles not the bad backup, to be fair. Not a bad backup, but did Flandy gift again? I missed. Sorry, Flandy. I was messing around with the wildcard draft. Hang on. Flandy, thank you so much. Hang on, let me scroll up and see who got those. Flandy says, join the Discord, new members. Yeah, for those that aren't aware, if you're a member, you get access to the members channel on Discord, where all the members are on chatting daily. All you have to do is go into your Discord settings and go into connections and just log into YouTube, and then you automatically get access to the channel if you're a member. So, free Emerald Marble, Abdel Jalil, Ashley, Andres, and Ryan. Welcome to all the new members. Thanks again for that, Flandy. Unbelievable support again on this stream. Thank you. I nearly didn't go live as well. As I said at the start of the stream, I'm a bit ropey today. Went out the last 2 nights in a row, but I'm glad I did. And it's been a good stream so far. How long we got? 50 minutes till the deadline. Keep your questions coming. For those that missed it, I got a DM earlier which said the Liverpool lineup is unchanged except Matip in for Konate. So we'll have to see if that's correct or not. Be good to get a reliable Liverpool in the know. Hang on, I missed the super chat as well, I think. Amidst all that. 1 second. We'll have a look at the captain poll results as well in a sec. Hang on. Master says Solanke and Jota or Watkins and Isak on a wild card. I prefer Watkins and Isak personally. Watkins home to Fulham. Isak, I'd say he's a bit more reliable for minutes than Jota, but not by much. And he's got a double as well. They both got doubles. Yeah, I'd go Watkins and Isak. I think I caught all the other super chats. Right. Captain poll results. So 69% are on Haaland, 17% Salah, 8% Watkins, 6% other. If you went other, let me know who you went for. Who's your captain? Interestingly, so hang on. So Haaland's on 227 points. Salah's got the all-time record for points in an FPL season with 303. So how many does he need to break that? Do you reckon Haaland does it? He needs 76 points. Haaland needs 76 points to break the all-time record for FPL points in a season. Do you guys reckon he does it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what's that? 76 by 8. He needs to average 9.5 points per game for the rest of the season. Easy. Do you reckon? I don't know if it'd be easy. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. What's he actually averaged this season, I wonder? Let's check that. Points per match. He's averaged 8.1 over the season, so he'd have to up his average as well. By quite a bit. I don't know if he'll do it. It's going to be hard. Savia reckons he won't. Unlikely. Yeah, I agree. Probably unlikely. But yeah, he's going to obliterate the goal scoring record, that's for sure. What's he on at the moment? Is it 33? 32? What did Salah get when he got it? Was it 32 as well? Yeah. So Haaland needs one more to become the all-time Premier League top goal scorer. The all-time record ever is 34. I'm trying to remember who got that. I think it was Alan Shearer and someone else. Was it Andy Cole? No. But back then there was 22 teams. So what's that? An extra couple of fixtures, extra 4 fixtures. So to be honest, Haaland probably will break that as well. Andy Cole, Shearer and Cole, they got 34, which is mad that Haaland's going to break that as well, barring an injury, with 4 less games to play as well. And he missed 29, and he missed 14. Crazy. But yeah, it's looking like I'm going to have to update my all-time Dream Team video. Maybe with 2 players, like Trippier as well. Trippier's on 273. I think 203 is required to join the team. And I think Robertson's got the all-time top score. Actually, I did tweet about this recently. Let me find a tweet. It's quite interesting. The all-time FPL Dream Team. So Trippier could join as well. 208 from Van Dijk is the minimum required. Do you reckon Trippier does it? So Trippier's on 173. So he needs 35 points. 35 points in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. So he has to average 5 points per game. Do you reckon Trippier does it? 5 points per game for the rest of the season? It would be good to knock one of the Liverpool players out, because it's just bonkers, isn't it? The back 3 is like 3 of Liverpool's back 4. I reckon he does it. They need to start keeping clean sheets again. But yeah, this team's way too red. I reckon Van Dijk gets knocked out. Savia says, I hope not. Start Grealish or Isak? I would start Isak. Tony or Grealish? Tony. Martinelli or McAllister? Martinelli. What's the Liverpool news you mentioned earlier? So I got a DM that said Liverpool's lineup's unchanged except Matip comes in for Konate. Again, I can't vouch for the reliability, which is why I didn't tweet it. Sometimes I get stuff like that and it's not worth the risk tweeting it, so I just share it in Discord mainly. If anyone's not in Discord, by the way, link below for that. Malboa, speak of the devil, we were talking about Malboa earlier. Thank you for the 5 gifted, Harry. Those went to Noctambuli, Jones, Savio, Roshan and Harry Alexander. Welcome to all the new members. If you got one, make sure you thank Malboa for that as well. What did we agree last time that the hype thing we would do when someone gives memberships? Was it spamming the teddy emojis? Or the focal emojis? Spam the focal emojis. We need to do something like that. When someone gives like a 5 bomb, we have to do something to hype up the chat a bit. So thanks for that, Malvo. Thanks for the support. Oh, Zab says, when's my turn going to come? It's a roll of the dice. I mean, you have to be active in chat. So if you're watching this and you haven't chat yet, chuck your messages in chat. I don't think they go to people who aren't chatting. So the first thing you got to do is message in the chat, get involved. I think the more you chat, the likely you are. Zayab says, Mac to Mitoma. I'll be priced out tonight if not. It feels like a very luxury transfer. If you've got nothing else to use your transfers on, then I actually think that's worth it. A long time ago, when everyone was talking about the Brighton mid, back then I said Mitoma in March, just because there is the potential for McAllister to return back to a deeper position, and there was a chance that Lallana comes back before the season's over. I don't know if that will happen. I think he has a chance of making Gameweek 37 or 38. So Mitoma and March are the 2 to have. I would make that transfer only if you've got other transfers to make, because that is a pretty luxury transfer. It's pretty sideways. Hang on. Is that not... Bloody hell. Alright, spam the focal emojis in the chat. Thank you, Malboa, for another 5. And David for another 5. I can't believe this. Hang on, let me scroll up and see who got those. Equinox got one. CCH, Nippum, Daniel, HD Core, George, Craig, Yahya, and Mark and Raphael. Welcome to all the new members. Thank you again, David, Malboa, Sean, everyone who's become a member, everyone being here, supporting the stream. I appreciate you all. Let me just scroll back up. Darshan and says, play Ings or get Jota from -4, or play Henry or get Trent from -4. I would go Trent. I'd prefer the Trent route. And then bench Ings. Trent makes more sense to me right now than Jota. I think after Salah, Trent's the next best Liverpool asset. So logically, I would go Trent. Obviously, you might have to deal with Ings in 34 because Antonio's been starting recently ahead of him. But yeah, that's what I would do. Max, thank you for the super chat. It says, has your advice to me, Pam, in VIP club changed? Let me double check what it was I said. One sec. What was the advice? I'm trying to find it now. You got me on the spot now trying to find this. What was it I said? Where are you? Depends on the Bruno news. I heard he went off with a knock yesterday, shin wrapped in ice. If he's a doubt, it's an easy one. If he's not, then it's close. He doubles in 34 and 37. Struggling for ideas next week. Could just roll. Could do Saliba and Bruno for Trent and a City mid. I would do it. Yeah, I would do it. Grealish and Trent. It makes sense to get Grealish and Trent in my opinion. And plus you've got Saliba, who is probably out for the season. Doesn't sound like he's back anytime soon. Doesn't have any doubles. City have 2 doubles. Liverpool double in 34. I would do it. And you can always explore getting him Bruno back if you really wanted to. But I think it's okay to go without him because you've got Rashford as well. Robbo to Trent for a -4. Not for a -4. Nah, I wouldn't do that. That's too sideways for a hit. It's like that transfer earlier, like McAllister to Matoma. It's a very luxury transfer. I've got a poll idea. Get your votes in on this one. What is your favourite chip in FPL? Mine will forever be the bench boost because that's the one that knocked me up to rank 1 last season. But I think the wildcard's the most powerful one. But I suppose there's 2 different things. What's your favourite and what's the best one? I think we can all agree wildcard's the best one. But do you have a favourite or one that's like historically done well for you? Like did you nail the Rashford triple captain when he got 20, for example? Sometimes it's like game weeks like those where you nail a chip and those ones stick with you and you just think, yeah, that's the best chip. Was it 20 Rashford got? When was it? Can't remember what week that was now. 20... Can't find it. I think Rashford got 20, didn't he? Fandy likes the free hit. Triple captain because you can hit the lottery. Yeah, the triple captain is the massive swing one. Like, if you nail it, if you absolutely nail it, it can be huge. But it can be a really annoying chip. Like, I mean, look at how good Haaland's been recently in limited minutes. Like 45 minutes, 2 goals. 68 minutes, 2 goals. I used to triple captain on Haaland here, and he played what, 79 minutes, so literally just 1 minute shy of the full 180. 1 goal. So it is a lottery, as you say. Anyway, in terms of the poll, 45% wildcard, triple captain's second most popular. That's surprising. 21%. Bench boost and free hit, 17% each. Last season we all went for Salah on that double game week. I mean, that just made sense, didn't it? Because he had, what was it, Leeds and Burnley in the double game week or something. Plus he was in the form of his life. First half of last season he was literally like the best player in the world. No cap. Who to captain this week? I've got the projected points here from FPL review. Obviously the obvious one is Haaland. He's projected 6.1 points. But it is close. Salah's projected 5.9, so he's not far behind. And Salah's my captain this week. I've kind of given up really on this season in terms of a respectable rank, so I'm just playing for fun. I'm enjoying the season. It's been a tough season. I'm almost minus 100 points now on FPL review variants, so it's been brutal. But if you're chasing, then just go for a fun one like Salah, even Watkins. Kane's 5.2 points projected. De Bruyne, Mitoma, McAllister, Rashford. Rashford is on 70 expected minutes, which is probably about right. You know, he's back from injury. Played in the FA Cup the other day. Could see Isak up there, even with 68 minutes. Son, Estepinian, Dunk. But yeah, I mean, Haaland's the obvious one. Stefan or Steven says Chilwell to Trent or Kane to Jota this week, or roll. Chilwell to Trent, I would say. Makes the most sense to me. Kane's fine. I was very reluctant to sell him. Well, not reluctant, I just didn't feel good about selling him. He scored in, I think, 4 of his last 5 games. That one blank against Bournemouth for full teams. The week I captained him as well, by the way. Unbelievable. Yeah, Chilwell to Trent makes sense to me. You could sell Kane next week. Start Kane or Martinelli. Kane. Mitoma captain for Garwain. Clean sheet odds. Ask Vigor. Clean sheet odds are as follows. Brighton top, 43%. Newcastle, 42%. Along with Chelsea, surprisingly high. Aston Villa, Wolves and Man City, 37.5%. Arsenal rock bottom, 13.5% away to City. Nottingham Forest, 14.5%. Why not captain Haaland? I mean, if my season's kind of like over in terms of a very respectable rank, so I'm just playing for fun at this point. And I think if you're chasing or you're just playing for fun, then go for Salah. By the way, over the last 6 games, he's on par with Haaland for minutes per expected goal involvement. So in terms of underlying numbers, Salah and Haaland have been even over the last 6. What does 34 look like for you with the free hit? I haven't thought about it too much yet. I'll probably get De Bruyne. I think a lot of people are going to struggle to have Haaland, Salah and De Bruyne. So that's going to be nice to have De Bruyne alongside those 2 premiums. The rest I'm not sure on. I'll be on triple Liverpool, so maybe Jota or maybe Robertson. Yeah, reluctantly I'll get rid of Trippier. No Newcastle defence, but I'm looking forward to that. Loading up for free hit 34. But I do regret not using it 32 now. It just felt like, what's the point in using it in a blank game week when you've got a full 11 already? And I had a decent full 11 last week on paper. You know, I had the likes of Salah and Trent, those sorts of players. It was really just players like Saka that murdered me, and I would have had Johnston on the free hit and he got 10 points. So yeah, in hindsight I regret not using it last week, but it just felt like, what's the point in a blank if you've already got a full team, when instead you could use it in a big double game week and load up 11 players that have a double. So that was my thinking there. We'll have to see how 34 goes, but looking forward to that. Have you guys got any chips left? We'll do a poll on that. How many chips have you got left? Get your votes in on that. Gameweek 34, about to be a blast. I hope so. I mean, I'll delete my team if I don't get a green arrow with 11 double Gameweek players. No chips. I think most people will be on no chips now. Grand Zero. I'll double check in case there's any leaks tonight, but I don't know if we'll get any. Tonight's games: Wolves v Palace, Aston Villa v Fulham, and Leeds v Leicester. Sam Martin's not heard anything, but he thinks that Maddison and Barnes will slot back in if fit and available, probably for the two strikers. Back five, including Iversen, I assume it won't change. Yeah, not much. Tony to Jota for a -4. Not for a -4. No, I wouldn't do it for a -4. I was saying earlier, Tony's actually top in the league for expected goal involvement over the last 6. So again, I didn't feel great about selling him. Scored last week, and I sold Kane, who scored last week as well, but I have to spend my transfers because I'm free hitting at 34, so it just made sense to get Isak and Haaland, especially because I'm going to free hit in 34, so I got Isak's double to come later on. Whoa, is my chat bugging out? Hang on. H Monkey, thanks for the super chat. He says Saka and Bruno to Salah and Eze for a -4. Not Eze, I don't think it's worth it for Eze. Have you got the Brighton mids? Matoma and March, if you can afford them, make more sense. Eze, I don't know if I would do that. Would you guys do that? Saka and Bruno to Salah and Eze for a -4? It depends who you have to start in Bruno's place, because I do think he's probably going to miss out this week, but the thing is, you may want Salah regardless as well, so it depends who you have to start if Bruno doesn't play. If it's someone who you're not expecting anything from, then I would do it. Jan says, Edison or Raya? Start 3. So I'd go Edison over Raya. Start 3 of Trippier, Trent, Mings, Botman and Dunk. Ooh. So I'd start Trippier, Trent, and then it's between Mings, Botman and Dunk. I would say Dunk. I mean, they're really close. Mings, Botman and Dunk, they're all very close, but I would say Dunk. How many chips have you got left? 46% have got none, 39% have got 1, 12% have got 2, and 3% have got 3. I'm amazed people have still got 3 chips left. You too, David. Tony out for Isak for a -4. I wouldn't be selling Tony for a -4. Certainly not. Chat gone. Yeah, I had to refresh. My chat like bugged out just now. It looks alright now. I can see it on the stream. Sanchez or Steele? A lot of questions about Sanchez or Steele. I would avoid them entirely. If I had to guess, I would say Steele. But it feels like a risky one. This is what De Zerbi said. He didn't really give an indication either way. They were talking about Sanchez because obviously he played in the FA Cup, but that might have always been the case. I imagine he was always going to play in the Cup. But he played well, that's the thing. So he said, I have no doubts about Rob Sanchez. When I decided that Jason played, it was about the style of play. My guess is that Steele comes back in, but if I was on a wild card or something like that, I would swerve them and I would just get a defender. Dunk or Estepinian. Ashik says, hey Oscar, will you be getting Edison in your team in the coming weeks? I'm not sure yet. I might end up getting it depends if Steele keeps his spot or not. If Steele loses his spot, then he'll come out for Edison. Savio says your transitions are so classy, professional stuff. Thank you. Yeah, there's some good transitions here for like these when I'm talking about the clubs. I mainly use them for the news roundup, but you might have seen these in my team selection videos as well. I've got the Burnley one. I'll get to use that again next season. So yeah, I use those in the team selection just above the player names and also in the streams. Got a few good uses for those. Bonk says, watch chips, I'm new to FPL. I've actually done a video on how to play FPL. I recommend watching that because it goes into how each chip works. It's a bit too long to explain on a live stream, but just search how to play FPL and my video should be one of the top results. And in that I cover the chips as well and how each one works. Bring on or avoid Gakpo. I would avoid Gakpo. I think Darwin, I think it's a matter of time that Darwin gets a start. Maybe not this game week, but I'd say it's coming, so I would avoid Gakpo. If you want to get a Liverpool attacker, then Jota's the one. You know, he's in form, but I think he too will probably miss out at some point. FPL Wolves says, what are you going to do with your transfers? I've made them already. Actually, I should tweet my team, shouldn't I? Let's take a screenshot. I sold Kane and Tony for Haaland and Isak. Let's tweet that. Game week 33. Kane plus Tony to Haaland plus Isak. Captain Salah. Focal ASMR. What was that? The typing? Is Bruno out? We don't know if he's out. Gonna get to flex one of the transitions again here. There was the photo that his wife posted on Instagram where his leg's bandaged up, or he's got some kind of cast on or something. So it does look pretty bad, I would say. It might just be precautionary, but you can see all the stuff here, like crutches and whatever that is, some kind of leg guard. So I would say, if I was to guess, that he doesn't play. No Maddison news, annoyingly. Oh, no Maddison news, so I don't know if he starts for those asking about Maddison. I would start, for those asking about Maddison or McAllister, I would go McAllister. Do you rate Solanke as an option this week? Yeah, I rate Solanke. Yeah, he's definitely an option. I did consider him instead of Isak, but Isak kind of made more sense because he's got the double. Rohan says, Oscar, you're on the Andy FPL arc where he captains Salah and trust him. Hopefully it goes better than it went for him. I'm just playing for fun at this point. I'm loving this season, even though it's been absolutely garbage. It's been my worst ever season. I am enjoying it. And I'm enjoying like the growth in the channel and all those things that have come along with it. And to be honest, I wouldn't do much different next season. For those of you, I've talked a bit about it before, but FPL Review has this tool where you can chuck in your ID and it analyses your team, whether you've been unlucky or whether your decision making is actually just bad. So that's handy as well. It's fplreview.com, and yeah, I chucked mine in, and based on that, it said I'd about minus 100 points variance so far this season. Last season was the opposite. I was very lucky. I had about plus 130, but this season I'm minus 100. So I'm just enjoying the season. I'm going to have fun with it. Salah captain. I'll probably do the same in 34 as well, to be honest. I don't think I'll captain Haaland. So, for better or worse, that's going to be entertaining. Going with that, Haaland actually paid off as well recently. I only bought him back this week, but I actually gained points on that decision as well, which is surprising because he got 2 here and 2 here. But it was the combination of moves because I had Salah, Trent. I ended up getting Martinelli instead of Saka. So I actually gained points by trying that as well. But yeah, I'm way off where I want to be, so we'll see what happens. this week with Captain Salah. Probably next week, Captain Salah as well. 3 hit active and 34. Not long to go. Are you guys looking forward to the end of the season? Or are you going to miss FPL once it's over? Extreme Wizardry says, Raya or Kepa, Dunk or Moreno to bench, second post. I'd start Kepa. I'd bench Dunk. I did look at Moreno, because obviously there's a chance that Digne starts at some point, which is the concern. But his underlying numbers are among the best among defenders recently. So, you know, he's got a home fixture against Fulham. He's been really attacking. I would start Moreno. Dunk generally is a 6-point ceiling sort of player, whereas Moreno is way more than that. He takes up good positions, he shoots, he crosses. I would chase the upside of Moreno. Ryan says, I've hated this season. Razvan says, I'll miss the games. Equinox is going to miss the games. Captain poll. Alright, we'll do a captain poll. Someone was asking about the clean sheet odds, so I'll quickly pull those up while I enter the captain poll. Last captain poll. Who is your captain for Gameweek 33? I've mixed the order up as well. If you vote other, let us know in chat who your other is. Did you guys watch the expert video earlier? One manager went for Mitoma captain, which I thought was interesting, because he's having a good season as well. He's 33k and he came top 10k the last 2 seasons, so he's on track or hoping to get a third top 10k. And he's gone for Mitoma. What's the site to review your season? Pin it. I'll put it in chat, so just copy this, Jeffrey. fplreview.com/season review. Yeah, you just put your ID in, and then it analyzes your team based on things like XG and how you've actually fared. Like if you own a player, like let's say you own Haaland, and he somehow misses a tap in from a yard out, and it's 0.9 XG. Then you wouldn't see any points for that, but you've been unlucky. And that accumulates over the season. It fluctuates every game week, plus and minus, based on what happens in games, because it's not as simple as predicted points. FPL and football is a completely random game at times, so you can never account for what actually happens, and things like, you know, tap-ins missed and so on. Like a few weeks ago, I had Salah and Tony who both missed a penalty. You know, that's just unlucky variance, because 3 and 4 penalties are scored. So it's quite a useful tool, and it helps you avoid binning a good strategy by analysing your team, basically. And it says my XG rank was top 10k, so I wouldn't do anything different next season if I'm honest. Luke Smith says, best defender outside of Trent and the Newcastle players. Best defender outside. It'd have to be a Brighton defender. Dunk or Estepinian, I would say. Just given as well the sheer number of fixtures they've got for the rest of the season. In fact, I took a screenshot of the ticker. Let's pull it up quickly, just as a reminder, a refresher of what's left this season. 6 game weeks to go, guys. We've got 3 single game weeks, 3 double game weeks. So it's the double in 34, which is for Brighton, Fulham, Liverpool, Man City, Man United, and West Ham. And then it's a single game week 35, and then it's a small double for Brighton and Newcastle, and then it's a slightly bigger double in 37 for Brighton again. So back-to-back doubles, 3 doubles in 4 game weeks for Brighton, which is why the Brighton players are getting near on essential from 34. Chelsea will double, bad one for them. Man City and Man United double in 37, and then we finish with the single, of course, in 38. So that is what's left this season, and then we're done. 6 game weeks to go. Mikkel, thanks for the 13 months. He says 13 months, Kane and Saka to Isak and Salah from -4. From -4? I'm not sure if that gets repaid or not, to be honest with you. I feel like Kane might get something this week, which I hate to say because I've just sold him for Haaland. Which is fair because it's Haaland. Isak and Salah. I don't think I'd do it for a -4. Doesn't feel right to sell Kane and Saka, like two really quality players, for a -4. Like Salah's a great pick as well, and you can't have them all. I don't think I'd do that. I don't think I'd take that -4 if that was me. Personally, it's not a transfer I'd make, those two for a -4. Right, the captain poll results for those who were asking. 9% Watkins, 65% Haaland, 20% Salah, and 5% other. I mean, it's not a bad -4, by the way. It's not a bad -4, but I'm not sure if it gets repaid this week. To me, it seems like one that you could just make next week for free, and you're 4 points better off. I'm trying to spot if there was any others, anyone who voted other on the poll who chucked it in chat. Omar says bench one of Saka, Isak, March and Matoma. Oof. I think it'd have to be Saka. Yeah, it's one of those weeks where there's some real benching headaches. I would bench Saka between those four. I think you have to start March and Matoma against Nottingham Forest. Isak, after a brace, you have to start him. But Saka, I think it'd have to be Saka. Pratik says Isak, Matoma and March, pick 2. Oh, I'd say Isak and Matoma. I hate to do that to my boy March, but I think Isak and Matoma. You tagged me in Twitter, check news. What's the news? I've got about 150 notifications there, hang on. Ah, okay, interesting one. Thanks for that, Flandy. From Sam Martin, who's the reliable Leicester in the know. He says, I believe Maddison has travelled with the squad and lined up to start tonight. So there was a question earlier, Maddison or McAllister. My answer would be Maddison now, based on that. Away to Leeds. So yeah, there you go. Based on what Sam Martin's saying there, Maddison's travelled and set to start tonight. Don't think there's anything else that's come through. But that's one for the Maddison owners, if there's any of you in chat watching. Luke says, De Gea, Alisson, or keep on a budget keeper like Steele, thinking for the long run. I think Steele's a no-go just based on the uncertainty now between him and Sanchez. So I actually think Alisson's absolutely fine. I talked a bit about him earlier this week. In terms of points per million, he's way ahead of the defenders, Trent, Robbo, etc. So I would say, yeah, Alisson between those. I know De Gea's got the extra fixture, but I think I would say Alisson between those two. Yeah, I'd go Alisson. Start Zuma or White? Zuma. White's the way to Man City, you know. I'll be absolutely gobsmacked if Arsenal keep a clean sheet. News on Wolves for tonight. I've not had anything on Wolves, unfortunately. No Wolves leaks or anything like that, sadly. So, nothing to share there. Start Saka or Ødegaard? I would start Saka. It's close, and obviously they've both been doing well recently, but I'd start Saka. You know, he's on penalties and so on. Connor says start Shaw or Share and Martinelli or Maddison. Based on what Sam Martin said there, I'd start Maddison now. Shaw or Share? I would start Share. I think he either starts or he doesn't play at all. So, Share. Dallo or Shaw? Shaw. John says we've got 14 minutes to get 500 likes. We're on 460 now, so if you guys have enjoyed the stream so far and all the bits and bobs I prepare for these, hit like on the stream. If everyone hits like right now, we'll blast past 500. So if you have actually liked the stream, then do that. Otherwise, obviously hit dislike. Both are good for the YouTube algorithm, so you're welcome to hit either. Bench Saka or Martinelli? Martinelli. Oh, there we go. We blew past it. 538. That was quick. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I mean, it's an absolute coin toss. In honesty, if you've got Saka and Martinelli and you have to bench one, I would flip a coin. There's absolutely nothing to say one does better than the other. Martinelli's underlying numbers have been better recently. Saka's on penalties. It's really close. Really, really close. Well, I suppose you give it to Saka just based on the penalties, but you know, there's nothing in it. Saka or Tony? Tony. March for captaincy, asked John. Bit of a bold one, captain in March. I don't think I would do that, especially after they've just a few days ago played in the FA Cup, 120 minutes. I wouldn't do that personally. But yeah, hopefully March has brushed off what happened in that game, because obviously it was his penalty that knocked Brighton out of the FA Cup. But yeah, I don't think I'd captain him if I'm honest. Before I forget, very quickly, last week's twat, the worst active team, went to Dan, who finished on 29 points in Gameweek 32. It was actually 25. I forgot to even tweet this. He took a -4, so that's 25. He actually followed me as well, so sorry Dan if you are also watching this stream, but he took it well. That was a red arrow, 759th to 6.4k. If you still have Maddison, Dan, the good news is that he's travelled and it looks like he starts tonight, but brutally unlucky. That's not a bad team at all. Not a bad team at all, but 29 points. Start Martinelli or Rashford? I would go Rashford. Clean sheet odds. Yeah, I'll quickly pull the clean sheet odds up again, which are here. Brighton top, and then it's Newcastle, Chelsea, Aston Villa, Wolves, Man City. Liverpool 31.5% chance. Man United 25%. Is there any other ones there? Palace 27.5%. Leicester 21% if you have Everson. Arsenal rock bottom, way to City obviously. Forest 14.5%. Eze or March to start? I would say March. Sell or keep Odegaard? Depends who you can buy, really. It's a bit more complicated than that. You know, if you haven't got a Brighton mid, then I would absolutely be selling Odegaard for one of March or Mitoma. It's a move you can make this week, given the fixture against Forest. Max says start Bruno or Saka. I would start Saka. I'd be surprised if Bruno even makes the squad, to be honest with you, but I would start Saka. Right, quickly on the most transferred players, it is Haaland top. 516,000 managers have brought him in. Rashford second, 449k. Isak 308,000. Jota, Grealish, Salah, March, Mitoma, Trent. Grealish or Bowen? Grealish. Start Wilson or Martinelli? Martinelli. March or Martinelli? March. Will Maddison start? Yes, he should do. Based on what Sam Martin tweeted about 10-15 minutes ago, he should do. Most transferred out, very quickly. Kane's the most sold, just over 500,000 sales. Saka's second. Tony, Maddison, Jesus, Odegaard, Martinelli, Ben-Mee, Watkins. Watkins? Who's selling Watkins before Fulham at home? I guess the wildcarders are. Yeah. Must be quite a few wildcards active. A few there that could backfire. Ahmed says start Solanke or Mahrez. I hate to say it as an Arsenal fan, but Mahrez. Scoreline predictions. Man City versus Arsenal. What do you guys think it's going to be? City win or Arsenal win? I went to David Seaman's podcast last night, as I was saying earlier, and Lindsay, one of the co-hosts, was asked, what's the scoreline going to be? And she went I think she said 3-0 to Man City, and it got heavily booed because obviously it was full of Arsenal fans for Seaman. 3-1 City win, 3-0 to City, 6 or 5-0 to City, 7-0. There's not many back in Arsenal here. Joran says 3-1 to Arsenal. Yeah, thanks for that super chat, Ahmed. I would start Mahrez, I hate to say. And it looks like chat agrees. 4-1 City, 2-1 Arsenal. I mean, Holding is going to have to turn into Holdinho or Holdini, Maldini regen to keep Haaland quiet. Yeah, it's a shame that the Saliba injury, they've really missed him. 2-2. A draw would be interesting. Would a draw put Man City in pole position? I think so, right? I think if Man City, if it was a draw and they won all games, then City win the title. Is that right? (5-1) City. Yeah, it's going to be a great game. I am nervous for it. It could be a title decider. Start Steele or Kepa? Steele. Salah or Haaland for captaincy? Haaland's the safe one if you're happy where you are. If you just looking to chip away at your rank and move up a little bit. Salah's kind of the big one. If you're chasing rank or mini league, then Salah. I think it really depends on where you are and how your season's looking. Salah's certainly the fun pick, but Haaland's the more obvious, sensible pick. Start short or Mac 10? I'd start Mac. Porro or Botman? Botman. Mings or Estepinian? Martinelli or Saka? We were talking about this one earlier. It feels like such a coin toss. If I said Saka and Saka does better, it's just luck, really. There's nothing separating them. But Saka. Just dropped my bottle of Coke. Life's over. Hang in there, Luke. Pick it back up. Clean out the mess. We can always drink another bottle. March or Grealish? March. Kane or Grealish? Kane. Saka or Mac 10? Saka. Thank you, Malboa. He says, thanks for everything, Oscar. Good luck, everyone. Hit the like button, y'all. Thanks again, Malboa, for the gifted. Thank you for your support, as always. I can't thank you enough for how generous you've been in my streams recently. Elise or Saka? Saka. Jota or Isak? Isak. Rashford or Grealish? Rashford. Martinelli or Murphy? Martinelli. Matoma or Grealish? Matoma. 4 minutes to go, guys. Keep your questions coming in. Make sure your bench is in the right order. Your transfers made. Captaincy sorted. AJ says Shaw or Andreas. Who have Fulham got again? Aston Villa away. I actually think I'd give Andreas a go there. I do reckon that Tottenham score. They have to show reaction. They're playing at home. They cannot go that game scoreless. They just cannot. So I reckon Andreas. But hopefully it's someone that's fewer players own, like Son. Because I've just sold Kane for Haaland. So if Kane scores, then I wouldn't be surprised. But that would be annoying as well. Extreme Wizardry says, thanks Oscar, team's all set. FPL1 says, hi Oscar, bring in Salah and Kiso Dunk or Trent Jota and March. Is it worth selling Saka for March? I prefer the second one, but it's not ideal not getting Salah whatsoever. I just think Ankiso, he's probably fine for this week, but I think long term you want to have the right Brighton players because they've got more doubles than anyone. You can see there they've got the 3 doubles in 4 weeks. And you bring in Ankiso, then he's taken up a Brighton spot. So I would say the Trent Jota March combo, to be honest with you. Yeah, I would go for that. No Salah. Maybe you've got a route to get Salah next week instead, but I wouldn't want to use a Brighton spot on Nkiso myself. Grealish or McAllister? Grealish. John says 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go, guys. Grealish or Isak? Isak. March or Jesus? March. Mings or Shaw? Mings. Kanate or Botman? I think Kanate misses out. I received a DM just before I went live that said Liverpool's unchanged except Matip comes in for Kanate. I didn't tweet it because I'm not sure how reliable it is, but just thought I'd mention it on the stream. And obviously, if you guys aren't on Discord, then I mention it on there as well. Link below to Discord. FCH Sean says Still or Raya. If it's who to start, Still. Yeah, Still. On a wild card, I would swerve Still for those looking at him. Just there's a little bit of uncertainty based on what De Zerbi says. I reckon that Still does start, but yeah, Sanchez did do well in the cup, so it feels a bit risky. Jesus to Isak for a -4. Not for a -4. Pope or Still? Still. Jota or Robbo? Robbo. Grealish or Jota? Jota. Jesus or Martinelli? Martinelli. Ash has 650 likes. Let's hit 700. Yeah, before you all disappear, bang on the dot on the deadline. Hit like before you go if you have enjoyed the stream. Appreciate the good turnout as always, and all your support and all the super chats and everyone just tuning into the stream, whether you chatted or not, whether you asked questions or not. Appreciate you all. It's going to be a busy schedule. We've got, as I said, we've got football for 9 of the next 10 days. FPL for 9 of the next 10 days. This Friday is the only day off. And other than that, we've got non-stop Premier League football. Solanke or Martinelli? Martinelli. Robbo or Botman? Robbo. I think that's it. That's the deadline. Ali says time's up. Danny says good luck all. The Witcher is locked in. Jar says deadline baby. Daniel says locked. I think that is it. We hit the deadline there. So yeah, for those that missed it, I made 2 transfers. I sold Kane for Haaland and I sold Tony for Isak. Didn't feel great selling 2 players right after they scored, but it's 2 moves that made sense for me. I'm going to free hit in 34, so I had to use those transfers or lose them. Is there anyone live that we could raid this week or not? Let's have a quick look. Who's live? Anyone to raid? The FPI Jedi show? I'm not sure if it's an English stream or not. Can't hear it.
Sorry, I had to use that. It's Raya time, okay? It's Raya time.
Alright, well, I'm going to head over to these guys. The FPL Jedi show. Head over there. Spam focal raid. Thank you all for tuning into the stream. I hope you have enjoyed it. Go show some love to the FPI Jedi show. They only had 2 listeners, so let's go show them some love. Tell them Focal sent you. Thanks as always for tuning in. And that's it from me. Focal out.